I'm Jamie Bundren, and it is my distinct pleasure to welcome my friend Angie Yu today. I met her about 4 years ago. She was looking for a location for her fish processing location. She ultimately ended up in Wycliffe, Kentucky, and occupied a spec building there. So she is a true entrepreneur. She saw a very unique need and literally has gone all in with her business. Bought a home, purchased a building, hired employees, and she has a great, unique story. We're thrilled to have her here. So without further ado, Angie.
I'm nervous. Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thanks, Jamie. You are the first one who helped me to have the government, KBI program. That's 3 years ago. Okay. I'm so honored and humbled to be here to meet everybody. Actually, I'm a very, very small businessman, and I want to share my failures and some progress with you. But I hate to speak English, my broken English to hurt your ears. This is called Chinglish. I studied English in China. We call it Chinglish. When I came to the States first time, I talked to my friends. Okay, I said, I tried to learn real English. At that time, I'm in California. And my friends said, hey, this is California. Speak Spanish. So now, 20 years later, here, I'm fixing to learn Kentucky. Okay, I'm in Kentucky right now. Okay. If I made a mistake, just feel free to correct me. I'm okay. Don't worry. If I made a mistake, correct me. Don't worry about it. Okay, let me give you some background of myself and my family. I was born and up in China. Here, you call it maybe Siberia area, close to Russia, my hometown. Maybe like American Alaska. It's very cold there. So we are just 2 hours drive from Russia. Half a year are covered by snow. I was born there and grown up there with my parents and grandparents. I have got 5 brothers and sisters. I was born, at that time it's called Communist China. But as an ordinary people, in a small town, I'm okay. I think I had a happy life. Then I went to college, university after China. I don't know if you know Cultural Revolution. For 10 years, no schools, no universities. Then Mao died, the world opened. So thousands young people like me try to go to college, universities. I think people are so lucky here. If you want to go to college, you can go. But in China, at my time, we have 3% of the people go to the exam can go to college. So then I went to college. I left my hometown. It's just like Kentucky. My hometown, we grow corns and beans, soybeans, and wheats. And then I graduated from University of Heilongjiang province. At that time, I don't need to find a job myself. And the government assigned us to work somewhere. So you have no choice. I was assigned to work in Bank of China, Heilongjiang province branch, we call it. Because my major is English, then at that time China opened to the world. So they need somebody who can speak English, can settle the payment for the trading. So from that time I do letter of credit, I do this kind of job. And in 1985, the first time I was invited by a textile company to go to Europe to be an interpreter. So I see the world. I said, okay, I want to go out. That's why, and later, 1991, I came to US. I started a business of import and export. Actually, at that time, I started import textile, like curtains and blankets, comforters. And 15 years later, I started another line. Because textile, our price is not competitive with India and Vietnam. So I changed the direction. I start fish line. First, I started to buy lungfish. You know lungfish caviar, right? But not people taste lungfish bodies. But the fish is really nice, mainly from Iceland and Canada. Because one of my brother living in Canada, Newfoundland, St. John's, where Titanic was. So a lot of fish there. When I tried to pick up a new line, and my brother said, why try some natural sausage? And the food always needed by people. So then I successfully commercialized the body of the fish, lungfish, in China. So then 2010, so I read the news about Asian carp here in Illinois. So I said, hey, I have a market in China already. I know Chinese people, we eat carps for thousands of years. These carps here, it's trash. So these are natural. In China, all the carps are farmed. From the water are heavily polluted, and also they need to feed the fish. So the taste and not so good. So then I start to buy carp. Then I fail to find enough carp. So then people say, why don't you set up a processing plant? Because at that time, when I start to buy carp, there are only 1 or 2 processors in Illinois. They cannot supply the quantity I need. So then I came the idea to find a location to do the processing myself. Then finally I stationed in Wickliffe, Kentucky. Because there are 2 rivers. There are Ohio River and the Mississippi River. There are 2 big lakes too. One is called Kentucky Lake, the other one is Rocky Lake. So the building is there. When I was there, the second time I was here, I met Jamie, right? And every people welcome me there. So they encouraged me to station there. And my first trip is 2012. And later, 2013, I started construction work. And I got help from James for KBI program. I got help from DRA office, yeah. So we started construction work February 13. Then by July, we shipped our first container to China. So it took us like 4 or 5 months for the construction work. The building was there for 10 years, but it's just a shell, nothing. Even the ground is gravel. So we'll build up the processing room and the office, and I purchased the equipment. But tell you the truth, I don't know how to do the fish. To start, we even don't know use what kind of knives. Some people use this one, that one, and even the gloves. Because I tried to learn from China, but the fish are totally different. In China, fish are only 2 or 3 pounds. So our fish is 10 over 10 pounds. So totally different. Then by the end of the 13, I shipped 1 million pounds of fish to China. Because at that time, I got somebody place a big order. Because I have no experience and ship the fish. In Kentucky, when we ship food products, we need inspectors from USDOC to inspect our each load. So in Kentucky, never have anybody export fish. We have no inspectors in our area. So, and they must send somebody from like Florida, I need to pay them $270 per hour. So later, they just set up a online registration. So we have the inspectors stay with us for 3 days. They set up all the rules, we follow the rules. So then we don't need to have them inspect every container, and we just do it online. But when the first container in China, we got problems. For the people set up the system online, maybe he doesn't know quite understand about the Asian carp. This is new. We have 4 species of Asian carps. They just listed 2. So we have another 2. We cannot go in. Then when we in China, we got into trouble. They say you are not reported right. So like a grass carp, you have it inside, but it's not listed there. And we need to come back to the USDOC to change this one. But too bad at that time the government was shut down, closed. I don't know what to do about our local government, like counties and the cities, the industrial board. They helped me a lot. They found, Senator Mitch McConnell's office and also Ron Paul office. I don't know them. They all helped me. Finally, they changed the online setup. So, but I got a lot of penalty because the containers on the port, I must pay money every day. But finally, we got all the containers in. So we tried Chinese market to start. It's not very successful because we got a lot of penalties. My buyers, we just argue who will pay. Then finally, they canceled the order. So it's really bad. And even worse at that time, by the end of the year, my husband got sick. And he has got, big surgery before, 2 heart surgery before. Then he was sick again. I went to Lawrence Hospital. They reject him. He need another big surgery, heart surgery. So 2014, the beginning, we almost closed for a few months because we had to go back to LA to get his 3rd heart surgery. And my son, my family, I forgot to introduce my family. We have got 1 son, and he was a veteran. He was in Iraq for 1 year, which for me, he is our only son, only child. For me, mother, when he was in Iraq for 1 year, for me, it seemed to be 10 years. So that's why I'm 10 years older than but, okay. Anyway, my husband got a successful surgery, another surgery. Now he changed his mitral valve and also tricuspid valves, 2 valves changed. So that's 14 March, end of March. So for the beginning of first 14, we almost closed. So we don't have, market in China not built up yet, because these fish there are frozen for sure. But people in China are used to a fresh or a live fish. So ours are frozen. And the tastes are totally different too. Because the fish, like just 1 or 2 years old, ours is 5 or 6, maybe 10 years old. And the water is different. The fish eat different things. The fish meat and texture are totally different. So I had a lot of difficulty there. I lose money. The first 10 or 12 containers, I almost got nothing, include the penalty from the Chinese, the duties. And, until last year, I came back on June, I think. Then we tried to find different market. And after working for another 5 or 6 months, we are fine. Finally, this year, we got orders from Middle East, We ship, containers to Middle East, to Europe, to Bangladesh, Korea, not only China, but China, because people prefer. And also, a bad news is China got a lot of news public says American car are trash. And once in Illinois, they poisoned the fish once to do something, and the people spread the word, American fish are poisoned. And the people in America, they don't eat it, so we don't eat it. So we have got a lot of struggle and fight with them there, and our price is not competitive. But now we try to go to a different market. In Europe, the market is good, especially the Middle East. So we try to do our products so good, and we got return orders. So far, we have got 450 tons of tons. That's, we can, we need fish now. So far we have big order from Middle East. We have orders from Europe too. And we try also to open a market in US. Maybe later we can try some of our products. I know people don't know this product yet. If you taste it, I say, tasting is believing. You will like it. So, and with our market open, and now we try to increase our facilities, like the freezer and the blast freezer and the cooler. We need a bigger one. So far now, every day, at least we need 20,000 pounds of raw fish. So we need to move containers every week. Each container we have 44,000 pounds of fish. In this way, we can, finish our order by the end of this year, because but last week we are doing nothing. The fishermen just delivered 2,000 pounds or 3,000 pounds. That's not enough. So I think this market will be really, really good, not only in China, but in all over the world. Europe is a good market too. I think, when we open US market, this will be big too. Here, in New York, there are some high-end restaurants start selling cars. I can give you the names, and there are 20. And also, another processor, they have Japanese groups taste it and try it, and they say it's good for sushi. This will be a big market. So, Okay, what else? But anyway, as I say, I'm very small business here. I still struggle, still have got a long way to go. So far, the good thing is we have got a wide market. But it's still, I know, maybe a lot more difficult waiting for me. But, with the help of everybody, I think we can overcome. So.
Questions?
Any questions?
I'm sure there's going to be a lot.
It's a great story. Congratulations, first of all.
Okay, thank you.
Belated welcome to Kentucky. We're so thrilled you're here. How did you make the connections then in these markets that you were unfamiliar with that now are driving your growth? Bangladesh, the European markets that you're serving. How did you get into those kind of on the spur of on a dime, quite quickly?
My business background is doing trading.
Okay.
That's my business. Before I do textile, I know where to find it. I don't know how to run the plant. That's the truth. I know how to, because my business is trading before. I buy and sell.
So once the Chinese market turned out to not be as profitable as you hoped, then you started thinking, that's when you kind of turned your attention to the other markets?
Yeah, so that's why I know there are some other market too.
Yeah.
Because in this fish market now, it's a lot easier. So you can go online and search. So before, like 10 or 20 years before, we go to the shows, we go to find, looking for like a Thomas Guide to find where are the business, so. So now it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
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 I went to several, like seafood shows, so all the customers are there. Like the biggest one in Boston, and also in Brazil, and also in China. So you can meet all the buyers there.
How's the China market doing now? Did the Chinese market change for you, or is it still?
We are still marketing. So lately, Chinese market, we try to say, this is carp, but not the same carp. We need to market. So
Did you rename it?
Yeah, we name it Kentucky Whitefish.
Kentucky
Because
Whitefish.
the meat.
Sounds better than carp.
Yeah, because the meat are white. So we call, I know in my hometown, we have a lake shared with Russia. We have very popular fish, it's called whitefish from that lake. Sells more than $10 per pound. Very, very expensive one. It's called, it's lake whitefish. So we call our fish is Kentucky whitefish.
So there's Kentucky Fried Chicken and Kentucky White?
Yeah. So we trying to say maybe Mississippi. I said maybe Mississippi is long. Maybe we call it Kentucky. Kentucky, fried chicken is famous in China.
Sure.
That's 30 years ago. Yeah, the first one opening in Beijing. I stand for 2 hours lining for vacation. That's my, yeah, I'm not kidding.
You say you're not getting enough fish at this time. Is that because you don't have enough fishermen down there interested, or the season is a bad season?
I think not enough fishermen. We have 26 groups signed with us, but only 2 or 3 are full-time fishermen. So the others are not part-time, just for fun, retired. So we don't have, stable commercial full-time fishermen. That's what we need. I know before this market, there's no market. So I understand why people fish, where to sell it. So for the last 2 years, we are not stable. So we sometimes, we don't have the market. When I wasn't here, we don't buy fish. So I don't blame these fishermen. If they fish, they need to invest a lot of money. The boats, the nets, the gas, time. So if our market is not stable, they are not stable. So this is just beginning. I think now we are getting more stable, and we try to bring in more fishermen.
You say more confidence in the fishermen now when they come in? They think that, hey, we're going to be able to sell it. We'll be back next week.
Yeah. So we arrange everything. Our production manager arrange all with fishermen. Tomorrow we will know who will come, but we don't know exactly the quantity because this is wild catching. But we know who will come. Sometimes, now I'm working with the local banks, try to increase our blast freezer. So that means fast frozen the fish. So far, we can only do 10,000 pounds per day. If we got, 30,000, we cannot frozen it. We don't have space. So now it's a good problem, and we need to arrange with fishermen. If fishermen there, we must buy. We take everything. We cannot say, hey, today we are full. You take it back. No. So we arrange early. So if we are full, sometimes when we are waiting for a container, the truck line to pick it up, we are full. Our storage is full. We just tell fishermen, don't bring fish tomorrow. So then until we get this container loaded out.
Is it only the carp that you're interested in? Like the buffalo, the gar?
Yeah, buffalo, not gar yet. So I'm planning to market gar and also drum. So far we take 4 species of Asian carp and also buffalo. Buffalo have got a market too. So you want to know the price we pay, right?
That's what I'm here for.
Buffalo and the grass we pay 25 cents per pound, and big head carp we pay 15. Common carp and the silver carp we pay 10 cents. Yeah.
How does that-
Average about 15 to 17. average.
Matter if they shot with a bow or not?
Huh?
Does it matter if they shot with a bow or you gotta have one?
No, no bow, no bow. This is for food.
I know who shoots, who'd actually go out on weekends. I know a young man just shot 700 pounds of fish last week
By Boeing.
by bow and arrow.
But you know, this
He
is for
swings to the
food.
trucks
We
and
need to
brings them.
have the inspection for food.
Yeah.
We cannot use the bow ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, must hold. Yeah, there's a holder, maybe.
That's what I said.
No fun fishing.
Yeah,
No
well,
fun fishing.
but I'm just saying that's 700 pounds of fish that got wasted. So,
Okay.
because I know he just.
Maybe later, we try to use these guts to make fertilizer.
Yeah.
Maybe
I was
later,
gonna
we can
ask
take,
you that.
yeah.
So you do with like the byproducts and also
Yeah.
maybe fish that don't need inspection to go over? Then you're-
Yeah, so far we have got the guts, we have got 7 pounds already, the guts. As a fertilizer, we gave it away. If anybody use, you know, these are all natural, no chemical at all, we just put the guts inside the tote, so you can use it. We have got some farmers use it, they say really good. So later, we may try to set up another, plant facility to do the guts, to do fertilizer. Then we can take the bowl away. Okay,
I'm kind of curious, how many employees do you have?
so depends. So the most time, when we are busy, we have 2 shifts, we have 26 about. But sometimes we don't have nothing, like last year, we have nobody, only few officers. Yeah. Now, like yesterday, we just got 1,700 pounds. We just got 2 guys finishing. I'm small, I cannot have all the workers stay there. I cannot afford to pay.
So I know, Angie, a lot of your problems with your exporting was the U.S. government charging you
Still a lot.
crazy amounts of money
Yeah.
to inspect it again.
Yeah.
Has that been resolved with some of the help from the senators?
No. So I know, so we need to pay the inspection fee every, now, they don't come every load because we ship load almost every week now. We pay seasonal, every 3 months, every season. They have inspectors here. I still pay $270 per hour. Each trip, I know, each 3 months, I need to pay about $4,000 for inspection fee. For the inspection, inspectors come to my plant. For the paperwork, now the papers are not a lot of money. With Senator Ron Paul's office, help me with that, they cut half. But each paper is just about $100, they cut half of 50. I want them to cut the inspectors.
Yeah, cut that, yeah.
Yeah, they just, they say, hey, you are helping, you cut the cost. I said, no, that's not the cost. Yeah,
What?
each month about, we need to pay $1,000.
Why did you pick Kentucky and not Illinois?
Because, I started from Illinois, tell you the truth. Then I got a letter, I went to Wildlife Department of Illinois, and they, I don't know, maybe Jamie, his name is
I don't know him. I know the Kentucky guy.
He knows Ron Brook from Kentucky Wildlife Department. And Ron sent me a letter first, email, and told me there's a building at Wycliffe, Kentucky. Then the first time I came to Illinois, I came here too. I like this location. And there's another reason, I told you my hometown, we have corns and beans, soybeans. The first time I came here, it just make me feel like home. In Chinese saying, when you're getting old, just like old trees, the leaves falling down, always falling down the roof of the tree. Maybe deep in my heart, I'm still looking for somewhere like hometown. So I pick up Kentucky, the location, the waters.
So how did you find these fishermen? You say you have 26.
We had a job fair, a pet office had got a job fair for us. But the word spread, they know we are there, so we have a little community meetings, we just tell them we need fishermen. But all these fishermen, they have got a commercial license, they just for fun, most of them, they don't fishing for living. So that's why now I need to increase my facilities to frozen it, to install it, I need to have more fish.
Can you buy fish from fishermen that are not commercial licensed?
No, this is
They have to be commercial
Yeah,
licensed.
must be commercial license. This is required by FDA and.
Which would have eliminated 700 pounds of bow shot.
No, we cannot take that. Commercial licenses, it doesn't cover, just hold a few $100, about $300, not expensive at all.
For 700 pounds?
For a whole year,
Yeah, but you've got to keep moving the fish. You can't go out and just catch a few fish here and there. It wouldn't be worth it.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
So you talked about fertilizer. Do you see yourself going into other things like that and like, fish oil,
No.
other type markets?
No, fish oil must go with the fish meal. Cannot go with, there's a fish meal plant in Illinois. They closed. They just opened a few months, they closed. It doesn't work.
What about things like surimi?
Surimi, no. So, my building is big. We only use 1/3 of the building to start small. I leave we call it the second phase. I plan to do surimi, but after doing research, I went to surimi's meeting. I went to a factory in China. I visited Alaska plants. Finally, I decided no. I think my decision is right. Now, there is one factory in Mississippi State. They try to set up a surimi plant. They spend $8 million already, still cannot operate.
Gotcha.
The reason is, the boss from Alaska, they gave me a good advice. Now the natural source fish, even in the ocean, are getting smaller and smaller. Surimi, they use 100 tons of fish every day. You cannot stop. The whole production line, if you stop, you wash it, it will take $10,000 to wash it. But ours is a river. So our fishermen, we cannot use big boat. Each boat is just about 1 or 2 tons, 5,000 pounds. We cannot have, continually, every day, 100 tons of fish.
Gotcha.
That's impossible.
Okay.
So.
What do you think your biggest challenges are going forward? Is it just getting enough fish because you have new markets, or is it getting capital for?
So I feel very confident about this market. This is the most important thing. I think I find the right market to go. So not going to the third world for this, if we go to China or go to Africa, we must go very low price. But we cannot make it low because our fishermen need to be paid. And also our shipping, we are in the middle. We cannot do nothing. We are not close to Long Beach. We are 1,800 miles from my plant to Long Beach. And we are, 600 miles to Savannah, Georgia. So, and the ocean shipping, that costs too much. So the market must go to high end, or at least middle, class. So now I'm working with China. We go to a different market. And also, I'm good with orders from Middle East and Europe. And I think someday we can open the American market. I hope you will taste our products. We get the bones out, you will like it. You know why I believe it? Let me tell you a story. When I start, longfish, I stay with my brother in Newfoundland. That's an island, all a fisherman. I met a fisherman. He told me when he was young, the family of fishing, a lot of crabs and lobsters there. He said when he was a kid, he go to school, he want to have a beef burger and or chicken burger because his family is too poor, cannot afford a beef burger. He had to bring in 2 lobsters for lunch to go to school. You see, so at that time, people in Canada, they say, hey, Chinese eat crabs, that's like spouters, it's not food. So now you see the price of lobster. So I believe someday crabs will be loved by local people. Because we eat it 1,000 years. It's good, it's good fish.
So do you think the perception is changing now within the United States?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
starting to change?
Because not only me, like the big one, the oldest factory processor in Illinois, they also try to market in US. So we went to an international Asian market meeting in Peoria last week, 2 weeks ago. Schaefer, they are the oldest, they have 2 generations doing freshwater fish. They supply crops to Asian market here. They do what I do too. They do more even. And also the other company, they try to market to in Japan to do surimi, to raw fish. These are very successful. I think give us maybe 1 or 2 years, this will be changed a lot. Yeah.
First of all, do you see your company's long-term plan? Do you plan to be in Ballard County for years and years, and that's home? You say you enjoy it, and that's wonderful. That's home, or do you see yourself being maybe purchased by like a factory processor, and hopefully being able to sell and move on and do something else, or go somewhere else? What do you think?
So now, my building is we only use 1/3 of the building. We do, now we call it frozen fish. My next plan is I need to use the other 2/3 of the building. So I will do sausage, maybe something else. I try to bring in more investors from China, or to bring in more investors or partners who want to work on this. I think, this market cannot go to a surimi, cannot go to fish meal, because 2 factories, they filled already. Big investment, not enough fish out there. But you cannot travel for 5 hours, just take 1 ton of fish, the cost is too much. So then when I have my plant in weekly, or make it in full production, I might try with my partner, not by myself. If some of you like to join in, we can talk about it. Maybe we set up another one 200 miles away. Because Mississippi River is about 2,000 miles long. We cannot have one location. And here, we need to have different, that's my plan. So I know there are a lot of investors from China right now. They are really rich people. Because in China, for the last 30 years, I see the change. People are really rich. They want to be, rich. They want to make $1 million tomorrow. I say, no, this fish business, you cannot do that. We need to do small, today, step by step, to build up the business. We cannot say, today we are like a big building, tomorrow we fall down. So,
I think you hit a while ago on probably the negative thought about Americans on the carp is the bones.
yeah, it's the bones. I think it's the bones. Tasting is believing. That's our saying. You will taste it. If you taste it, you will like it. I have cooked so many times for local
Perfect
people.
timing.
Most of the people, yeah. Okay, most of the people are the first time try carp. There are some don't like it, but most of the people like it. I know, but most of the people taste it. Mhm.
So what is the process from the fisherman brings the fish? Do they bring whole to you?
Yeah.
And then what happens?
Yeah, they bring it whole to us. When the weather is hot, they must cover it with ice. So then we unload the fish. The first thing we have quality control. We check the temperature of the fish, not outside, inside the fish. The inside we will, if the temperature is over 83, I don't know, then we reject the fish because the fish is not fresh. By check the temperature, looking at, and our quality control people are experienced. So when the quality is good, we separate the species because we pay different prices. So then we weight it. We have a big boat, big totes. We weight each tote about 500 pounds. We weight it. Then we have tag everything required by FDA. We have, because this traceability, we have all these tags with, who is the fisherman, the time, the temperature, then the amount, until, it goes to outside. We know if someday, somewhere say, hey, this got problem, we'll know who bring the fish. Then we put it into our processing room, gut first, get the guts out first. Depends on, some customers, they want whole run, like Bangladesh. They say they don't want fish broken, so they want whole run. So we must wash it and pack it and put it into a blast freezer. That's fast frozen. Then after fast frozen it, we take it out, we put it onto a big packing for export. Then we put it into our storeroom.
So how far down, do you send some out just as fillets, or do they come with, are they mostly like a whole fish with no guts? What?
So far, we don't do any fillets. Okay. Mostly I got it and head it. Head off, gut off, guts out, and some, very few like whole rod.
Okay.
Okay.
So you said that you have a brother who's in Newfoundland?
Yeah.
Are all your brothers and sisters entrepreneurs? Did you all?
Oh yeah, my family. I have 5 brothers and sisters. I'm the eldest one. I've got 3 brothers. One is in Canada. Yeah, he's doing good. He's in Newfoundland and he's St. John's. He runs good business there. And I have got my youngest brother living in Japan for almost 20 years. So he's working for somebody there. And he speaks Japanese for sure. And I have got another brother still in my hometown. We are close to Russia. He's doing business with Russian. He speaks very good Russian. So we are a kind of international family. We don't need interpreters for English, even the broken English. Also Japanese and Russian. So my parents are really happy, but they passed away already. So we can answer the phone later, Japanese, and Russian, and English, Chinese for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it, were you always willing, it sounded like from the time you went away to college, you were willing to relocate, you were willing to kind of pursue this. Did something about the way that you grew up kind of make you feel like your family more willing to do that, or?
Yeah, because we are, we all grew up in a small village, very small town. So we want to look outside world. It's totally different. So a lot different. you don't know, I think when I'm here, I always watch TV and I always compare, the culture totally different. I must say some, good, some are not good here too. So I just look at, if I were this bad with the parents, what shall I do with this? I'm always comparing these 2 cultures. Yeah. A lot.
So how have you adjusted to living in Kentucky?
Adjusted to living,
Do you like it?
How have you enjoyed Kentucky?
Oh yeah, I like because my business is here. But I still like LA too because I have got friends there and the food there are good. For me, the food, So, yeah.
Any other questions?
Okay, I'm glad to answer if I can.
Well, let's thank Angie and then need to have some carp.
Yeah. are brave enough to try one bite. These are our first trial. This is smoked sausage. Okay. Okay. These are 90% of fish, 10% of pork. We did it in this called the Stoner Smokehouse, Stoner in Missouri. Very good.
So you send it there and then they
We
smoke?
brought our ground fish
Okay.
there. They make the sausage for us.
Do you sell this, is there any place that you can buy this locally?
No, now, this is our first trial. So we are going to have, I want feedbacks. Tell me, some people want to put more spicy or maybe, we will have different, we are not ready to go to market yet, but we are preparing. We are
I know
preparing.
that like spicy.
Yeah, a lot of
So, you know,
people.
it could be spicier, but it's
Could,
good now.
we can have different flavors. I'm working with this, smokehouse. It will give us different species.
Is it lowering the fat than, our calories than?
Yeah, it's lower, a lot lower.
That one thing you would.
And more healthy. Yeah, it's really healthy. Yeah.
It would be a good alternative
Uh-huh.
to those that like pork sausage.
Yeah, this is more, we are working with Western Kentucky universities. They will give us the analysis report on nutrition. It's more healthy than pork.
Market things.
We,
Locally, or do we have to go to Bangladesh to get it?
locally. So we're working with, local smokehouse. Yeah.
So you're gonna try to sell direct to restaurant or?
Yeah, restaurants, maybe, we try to, like schools, I think schools, the kids, these are more healthy. Yeah.
You check with some restaurants and say where they buy it. And like Cisco or some of these distributors that'll buy a truckload at a time, and then they will sell it.
Yeah, so I want feedbacks, open to all suggestions, please.
I like it. It's good.
I think it's great.
Okay, these are 90% of fish carp, 10% of pork.
So it tastes like sausage, but it's healthier than sausage.
Yeah, but this skin, I know this is not so good. This is our first trial. So the smokehouse will change, a little bit harder, We will have different flavors. Okay? Thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, I've been really looking forward to that. We're so thankful you came up. She came up last night and stayed in one of our hotels, and we're so thankful y'all came up. We really enjoyed that. So who knows more about carp than you ever thought you would? I love carp. Anyway, yeah, it was very tasty too, by the way. Next week we have Natalia is next week, and then the next week we've got Dr. Sekebar. So we're excited to have him come and tell about their journeys. And who is new here today that hasn't been here before? We also have a new organizer that has joined our group.
There's mouthful of carp, right?
That's right, typical for you. So we're glad to have Eric on board, and he's going to bring us wonderful presentations.
Oh, I don't know. I've got to find out what it entails.
But you're in, huh?
If you know anyone that has a business that is not yet presented at 1 Million Cups, we would love to have them present. Contact Kevin, Tom, myself, Eric, Carol. And we will help get you set up.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.